Hello, everybody. Welcome to Toonkind at 12 frames per second. Whoo boy, my name is Arsenal Obsessions, also known as Obby, and I am playing a person. Yeah, a person who's very recently got a name change. Mr. Co F Gyrus. Still
Recently,
reeling over that fact, man.
yeah. Hey, listen, he could still be Yan and be dead.
Yeah, yeah, that's true.
Yeah,
That is
considering the alternative.
considering his options.
Yeah. Besides, a name change, hey, a name change actually could benefit him in future,
It could, yeah.
especially considering what his line of work previously was.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, that's one of those things where, uh, however this goes, depending on how this goes, I can see Yan Co having to go underground for a good bit.
Yeah. At least a little while.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah. Either
yeah.
way.
Either
Hi.
way, hi.
Hi, Fable. How you doing? Can you
I'm
introduce yourself in the
yeah, hi. I'm Fable. I'm Fable, and today I am playing Bob, who's still in his Jessica Rabbit outfit because it has only been a couple hours since the events of Monster Mash Bash, and uh
Yeah.
and the Chaos Fam has gone into the Marcel's House of Paint to chill. Bob
Yeah.
Bob has still been keeping Co with him. Co with him.
Keep
Co probably
keeping
still
it.
has the pastel heart blanket on him that Bob gave him so he could stay disguised
Yeah.
while they were leaving the
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah. Hey,
Part of me
Abby,
wants
could
to
you
roll just deception in general for how well that went, because I forgot to make that roll last time.
getting the
So I
help?
feel like it.
You're
Yeah, I
getting a
feel like
help
it could be
option
made
from
an
Bob.
advantage because
Yeah.
Bob was trying his hardest to make sure it went smoothly.
Yep.
Oh, but that. Oh no,
14. That's 14. It's not the worst.
it's not the
He
worst.
didn't do
I
as bad as he
imagine.
could have.
Yeah, it is just a blanket.
It is just a blanket.
It is just a blanket. The rest of the outfit remained unchanged. You might have had a bit of a close call with Sham.
Possibly. But maybe Sham, but I imagine, what would
You can
Sham have done
change the
seeing?
outfit, but you can't change the vibes.
That's true, but what would Sham have done though? Because yeah, that could be him, but also why, but that if it was, why was Bob, just happily holding the guy's hand? And
That is true and also fair. Also, Sham is a coward.
that's true. That's true.
if
Also,
if
Lewis
if,
just
if
messaged and
Sham
said,
even noticed, he was probably just like put both hands up in the air, like, no,
not touching that.
I ain't touching that. I
Lewis
ain't getting
also.
involved in that. Especially after Tobias apparently threatens him. Thank you,
Yep,
Lewis.
yep. Thank you, Tobias.
Thank you,
Uh,
Tobias.
but yeah, it's a good thing that Marcel got the House of Paint because,
It is a
Bob wants to keep.
very secure location. If I
It's a
remember
very secure.
the House of Paint description correctly, it is very hard to break into.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, it is.
As evidenced by a game I ran, actually.
Yeah, you can't break the door down. It's very secure location. Plus, it is, it's a safer place to take Co other than the apartment because if anyone knows anything about Bob, he doesn't do illegal shit all that often. It does not have
Mhm.
what you would call a hideaway.
Yeah,
So it's
yeah.
actually
Plus,
good that
also the idea of taking this guy to like where you live.
exactly. Yeah, no,
Not a good
no,
idea.
yeah, no, and Bob has kids at home, so that's not happening.
Mhm.
He also
Yeah,
doesn't
definitely
want
not.
this guy knowing where he lives. So again,
Yeah.
not happening.
Again,
Well,
this guy is a
the
wild
other
card.
indeed, and the other plus about the House of Paint is that it can be moved. So there's no address that Co
Yeah.
could potentially try and track down.
Yeah.
Anyways, anyways, hey Abby, could you just because my genuine curiosity, how is Code doing?
Hmm. Well, from the last game, he only has like 12 hit points out of like the 80 something he has total.
Yeah, yeah,
He's not doing the best at the moment, which reminds me, he actually does have cure wounds, which he never got a chance to cast on himself because the battle went by so quickly.
yeah, yeah,
Just as you're walking, he just like absolutely brings up one of his hands against the very noticeable hole through his chest. Like if you get
yeah,
a look through it, it's just straight through,
yeah, yeah. I
which is
think,
a bit weird because it seems like it's just cloth.
yeah, I think Bob's concern is they get into the house of pain, and Bob still holding Yan's hand is gonna take them to a room that's unoccupied,
E-
probably with some furniture in it, so that way he could just take Ko to one of them and just sit him down and just be like, all right, okay. Well, first things first, let me have a look at you real quick, because if we really did do a number on you. And Bob is actually gonna like, still holding on to Ko's hand, is kind of just like check his arms, just check. Bob is gonna be Bob and make sure this guy's okay.
yeah, yeah. I feel like maybe make just like a general medicine check.
Yeah. Oh, medicine. What's my medicine? Bob.
I
Oh,
don't
it's
know.
actually, it's not his best, but it's not his worst.
Yeah.
It's not great. Oh, but 19.
Oh, but 19. That's
Yeah.
real good. I mean, especially after Ko here literally just did cure wounds on himself. He did heal a bit of the damage because
Hmm.
this guy has got like scrapes and burns and all sorts of stuff from not from like you can tell from like physical wounds, but more from like the damage that has been done to like his clothes.
Mm.
A lot of damage involving weapons. There's a lot of rips and tears and
Yeah, I
bits
think.
of still clinging frost from that one attack that happened.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. It's a good thing that Bob has cantrips to help with that. Uh, he probably does a very tepid firebolt. Nothing to actually cause damage, but just something, just like a little flame in his hand, just to get rid of the last of the frost, and then as well as mending to help with any of the torn
Yeah,
cloth as well.
yeah, yeah. Like
I'm
as
gonna
you're
roll.
doing this, you do the roll first.
Yeah, I'm just rolling. I'm gonna roll insight because Bob is gonna try and. It's
Get
Bob.
a
He's still gonna
read
see
on
like
this guy.
yeah, get a read because they were just fighting a minute ago, and Bob is more than aware that yeah, he was trying to hurt this guy. They were trying to hurt each other, and now Bob's trying to help him, and he knows that
Yeah,
some people react weird to that. That was a 6 though. That's
that's
a
a net
nat 1.
one.
Bob
Uh,
is
mm,
Bob is
this is
being
a really weird tune, man. Like you kind of like look up at his face area and you're like trying to get a read, but he doesn't have a lot of the normal facial features the other
mm,
tunes have. He just kind of has like a pair of floating glowing red eyeballs and that's about it.
mm. I think Bob kind of tilts his head a little bit and just I'm sorry. I have to admit can't really get a read. I can't really get a read on your expression. How are you feeling?
I feel like Ko is just like kind of blinks. Like you could see like the eyes turn into like little red lines for a second. Hmm, a bit confused, I must admit, by the sudden change of heart, I suppose.
Change of heart.
Well, considering you all were attempting to, for lack of a better term, kill me.
Well, I oh no, mostly. mostly get well. Actually, some of no, yeah, I'm pretty. Some of them might have.
I'm the one who had the sword shoved through his chest. Your group was very much attempting to, yeah,
Yeah, but
yeah,
I don't think you can very much blame us for that.
I cannot. It is the nature of adventuring.
Hmm. Well, in any case, if you're not going to be doing what you did tonight, it should be. I should. And Bob actually thinks for a moment. I mean, as long as you don't repeat what you did tonight, you should be okay with most of my family, I think.
Hmm. I feel as though if I did attempt to repeat tonight's events, I would be making a target on my chest.
Chest, back, yeah.
Just everywhere, I suppose.
And Bob just nods. Uh,
Regardless, I don't think I would survive long, considering who you keep company with. And do you want to roll insight?
yeah, I'll roll inside again. 15.
15. It seems that obviously he's referring it to certain individuals when he says the company you keep.
Mm-hmm.
What specific individual might be, at least to Bob, some ideas can come to mind.
Well, Bob doesn't need to say anything. He just looks at the torn at the torn hole still in Ko's chest. He hasn't, by the way. Bob is mindful enough to not actually touch near there.
Yeah, now I'm gonna roll insight for our dear friend Ko here.
All right.
9. Yeah,
Nine.
no.
What was
he
that insight
misses
for?
he misses that look that you gave at the hole on his chest. So,
Mm. Yeah, well, I know Gil made it very clear that he wants you out of town.
mm, I'm more concerned about the tall one.
Bob just stares blankly at you. Gonna need to be a bit more specific. There are several tall ones in the group, compared to me at least.
The Algor.
Oh, okay. Eh, I suppose. I suppose. It really depends. Honestly, it depends on what you do.
Do you want to roll insight again?
Sure. A lot of insights. It's a 14.
Ko, in a word, looks bewildered. Like there's just like the subtlest tilt of his head and the weird glowing eyes and the darkness of his hood just kind of squint ever so slightly.
Bob just kind of. Bob actually smiles a little bit and just. I. No offense. You have to understand. You are really not the worst thing that has happened to this family.
Oh, I can gather that.
Yeah. So. In it. In any case, are you all? And Bob actually gestures back to those. Are you all healed up? Chestnut. I mean, obviously you just got stabbed, so. But if it's hurting anymore, I'm pretty sure there should be med kits somewhere around here. I certainly hope Marcel kept this place stocked with them.
I doubt you'd be able to do much with the medical kit. I'm not exactly your average tune.
Well, neither. Well, I don't think anyone is at this point.
Hmm. Well, it's much easier to use medicine on something with a body.
Okay. Would and Bob actually gestures at the hooligan. Would you prefer I use mending on that as well then?
I. Ko just kind of like gives you a long, hard stare before simply shaking his head.
Well, all right. The
No,
offer's
I'll be fine.
insight. Will he be fine? 19. Will he be fine?
I mean, yeah, he'll be fine.
Okay.
He has cure wounds, which he does in fact cast on himself again,
Okay.
like
Okay.
just to prove his point.
All right. You know what? Bob will accept that, and I think he will. Well, I think Bob will nod and be like, "All right, all right. Give me one moment." And he's actually gonna go to the other side room and grab. I imagine there's a table with some stools. He grabs one of the stools and brings it over and places it basically directly in front of where he's placed Ko in a nice little couch chair, and he sits down very proper, and he reaches up and finally takes off the wig. Takes off the wig and just tucks that into his hammer space. All right.
Yeah.
All right
Like
then. I
the
finally.
entire time like Bob is doing this, like Ko is just kind of quietly watching him. It's very creepy vibes, just silent, very passive, very
Yeah.
observant.
Yeah. Bob figured. Bob just kind of goes. Oh, I will tell you, it was actually kind of fun. Actually, having real hair for a while. That was interesting experience. Uh
Hmm.
Now then, Ko. This
He
is
just he just
might sound.
blinks.
Yeah, I know your name might be a bit odd. I don't know if you're gonna want to change that at all. Change that at all, and you're welcome to, because rather short notice on the name
Hmm.
change.
I feel like it works for now. If
Okay.
necessary, I can change it later,
Okay.
considering my typical line of work.
Are you gonna continue your line of work?
I
Will you
don't
be able
know.
to after tonight?
There's like just a long pause. I don't know. I must
Be-
admit, this is a very odd opportunity that has been presented to me. I can choose to go back to what I did, just perhaps a bit differently, or a new path entirely.
that's
It is
true.
not an opportunity that has been given to me many times in my life.
Hmm. I can imagine that. Most of the people I've seen who do not good things, usually because there's not a lot of options. Which
Hmm.
which is actually why I wanted this moment to talk to you about something. Or well, it could be a job offer, but I guess it depends on what you want to do.
Hmm. There's again like just that subtlest tilt of the head. You are a very strange nobody.
Bob just smiles at that. Oh, thank you. I do try.
Hmm. I think with that, like Code just kind of starts awkwardly moving. It's subtle in its awkwardness, but he just kind of like sits in whatever chair is across from Bob,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
and I, it's just like a blue recliner,
Yeah.
like in the title card.
Yeah. It's
He
comfy.
just
It's comfy.
he just sits down and crosses his arms, and like from within the void of the hood, you can see like a single sweat drop.
Bob just so from well, just for obviously I've not known you for very long, but from what I've seen, could be promising. You're obviously a very skilled artificer if your constructs are anything to go by.
I've
Which
had many
reminds me
years
as
of experience of such things.
hmm, which reminds me, you do hear calliope noises outside the door. Hamlet has been instructed to keep guard at the only door to the room.
Yeah, yeah, I figured as much.
Yeah.
I
Yeah,
feel like. Do you want to roll insight actually?
yeah. I'll roll in. It's a lot of insight rolls today, folks.
Oh
Eight.
yeah, baby. You are trying to figure out a wild card here, man.
Yeah.
Like, that's just an 8. Again, this is a really difficult to read tune.
Yeah. Yeah. He's not. Yeah, Bob doesn't have quite a read yet, but he's gonna for now. But for now, he's gonna continue. He's gonna continue for now. And well, you said before when we found you in the cave, you said this was just business.
Precisely. I've been in this sort of business for a number of years now, dealing
Usually,
in trade of monsters and the like.
hmm, most people when they say it is just business, don't do it for the pleasure of it, though.
Hmm, that is fair.
Which
Although I must admit I do find at least some satisfaction in the job.
what part?
Hmm, I do not know if I can say. Just a general feeling, I suppose.
Being able to get the job done, sort of satisfaction.
I think like Ko like tilts his head consideringly, and like you can see like the eyes like looking upwards, as he thinks. I suppose that is the closest term for it. Yes.
Hmm. You were working at that barn for I'm told for a year,
Half a year.
half a year. Thank you.
Although for preparation for this night did take quite a while,
Oh, I
which
imagine
I must admit I am still quite annoyed that it went so poorly.
Bob has a oddly enough, there's a genuine apologetic smile because yeah, he knows what it's like to have your plans get kind of poofed.
Yeah. Yeah.
Either way, though, you manage. Either way, you man. Either way, you managed to stay there for half a year and not have little to no suspect made towards you.
I'm very good at what I do.
Hmm.
Very careful.
You're very careful. You're very careful, and that is a point towards you, which is why I'm gonna. I do have to now. I do have to ask this. What do you know of the jester?
Hmm. Okay, do you want to make an insight roll again? You get advantage this time,
All
because
right, 11. Yeesh.
you. I did mention you get advantage this
I
time,
know. I
because
roll. No, I
you
did roll.
kind of. Oh dang! Oh, that's oof.
I
That's a
know.
little rough, baby.
Yeah.
It's you get the sense there was a change in his posture, but it's too subtle for you to notice
Mm.
precisely what.
But he notices that there is a change.
There is a change.
All right.
Hmm. I have heard rumors of him, yes. I tend to avoid business with the Yakuza. They are unpredictable
Hmm.
at best.
Now there's. All right. Hmm.
Considering the events that are tied to them, I wouldn't
No,
want to
I'm.
get involved in such things as easily as I would other villainous types.
That's surprising to hear, to be honest. The most of what I hear is either for Rupert or well,
Most anything anyone hears about them is from rumor.
yeah.
And what I've heard from the grapevine is nothing good.
Hmm. I don't suppose they've tried reaching out for you, though, for your line of work.
Mm, they have, yes. It is difficult to avoid them.
I can imagine. I also imagine that means you know someone who works for them.
Mm. Like, again, Ko is just kind of like looking at you,
Do you? I mean,
staring.
do you want to roll insight on Bob again?
Yeah, you know what? Yeah, because that's basically what Ko's doing. You're trying to get a read on Ko. Ko's trying to get a read on you.
Yeah, yeah. Get advantage this time as well, because Bob is being an open. Yeah, get advantage. Bob is being an open book here. Bob can't. Bob is not a person with good deception. She as
Bob is just so weird.
yeah.
This is
Bob is just weird. And honest, and I can tell. Like I can tell you, audience, that Bob is being honest Bob that he always is. And you know what? I can imagine that for someone like Ko, that probably is really weird.
yeah. Considering Ko's usual line of work and
Yeah,
who he gets involved with.
yeah.
Hmm.
Hmm. I'm gonna ask. I'm
He's just being quiet.
I'm gonna ask you I'm gonna ask you about another name. It is possible you might not know it. From my understanding, this one works a bit less in the spotlight than the jester does.
Hmm.
I don't suppose you know of a tune by the name of Mr. M.
Hmm. I feel like Ko like tilts his head a little bit and like racks his memory to see if he does know a name like that.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry. Ugh. Lungs. The lungs. They're betraying me.
Take a
I'm actually
breath.
gonna roll history
All right.
to see if he perhaps does know or at least has heard rumors.
All right.
15. Let me think for a sec. Again, I have, but only in rumors. It is curious to me how a nobody apparently knows of such figures so closely tied to more darker corners of Einquell.
And again, Bob just smiles. Like I said, you are not the worst thing to happen to my family.
Hmm. And like Ko actually, that was me coughing, but I'm gonna make it so that Ko is coughing because
And
at the moment, yeah.
Bob kind of like looks a bit concerned, like, "Are you sure you don't need anything? I could get you water or something."
There looks like a moment where Ko is like going to reject before he just sighs. If you must, I suppose. It would be rude to deny.
I mean, I'll get you water if it helps. You did talk about having a body and whatnot.
There, mm, there are certain side effects involving some of the things I do.
Are those side effects not being able to eat or drink?
Mm, well, I gain sustenance in other ways, although water does occasionally quench the thirst.
All right then. And Bob will stand up and offer out his hand to Ko. Come on then, let's go to the kitchen.
I feel like you don't even need to roll insight. Ko is just like staring at your hand. and then up at you. And there's just like the general sense of this is one of the weirdest tunes I've ever seen. As like Ko very slowly gets up from the chair and takes Bob's hand.
Yep. Bob just takes your hand comb, much like before. He's very Bob is just a gentle. It's just a gentle tune, and it's just gonna, it's just gonna, just guide Code to wherever the kitchen is. And I will say that Hamlin does follow.
You like as you're leading Ko along and like Hamlin's starting to follow,
Hmm.
like Ko like gives like a long look at Hamlin.
And and Hamlin, you know what Hamlin does? Hamlin just,
Uh,
oh right, sorry, sorry about taking one of your constructs.
no, it's. Do you want to roll just like a general insight, like overall? Just again.
So many insights, and we're gonna fail them so many times. I know it. Oh no, 14.
14. You get the feeling that Ko is being very careful. Considering very recent events,
Yeah,
he's being as careful as possible, like treading walking around eggshells basically.
yeah.
Because all it would take is one wrong thing, and next thing you know, he's gonna have another sword through his chest again.
That's very possible.
Yeah,
Considering
yeah.
Gil is still in the house as well. Bob has actually
I, I
taken
also have to
them.
mention that Primrose is also in the house.
Well, I will
Primrose
say,
walked in like onto the couch in the front room and passed the peck out. So
oh,
like you walk down like into that area next to the kitchen and Primrose is just snoring.
oh, yeah, Bob. This is one of those things where it's a small trip to the kitchen. It's not a we're gonna stay here in the kitchen. Gonna get Ko like some food, get like a few snacks, water, then head back to the room they were previously in.
Hmm. I don't think like Ko like takes any of the snacks per se, although he will take any water.
Yeah, Bob gets him. Bob gives
Actually
him
gonna have him
a good
roll hammer
glass.
space.
Gives him a good glass, and then Bob himself will be enjoying a snack.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
He did have that whole pie earlier, but now he himself is just a bit.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I'm gonna roll a d10 real quick for hammer space. 9. Okay. Ko actually reaches like into like a little pouch that's on his side and pulls out like a gold coin and it appears to be a bit confusing for why he has pulled this out until like you look up at his hood and the eyes have like turned into a row of really gross looking teeth.
Oh,
It's nasty looking. And there's just a loud crunch as he brings the gold piece up to his mouth and just devours it.
oh,
Yeah.
oh. Okay. Huh.
Hmm.
I did not know you could do that.
Ko
So
just shrugs.
are coins the only thing you can eat?
Things of value.
Okay, so not
Most
so.
often determined by economic standpoints, I suppose.
So
Gems, coins, occasionally older things.
okay. Huh. That is interesting.
It is odd, I must admit. The price to keep myself functioning, I suppose.
Functioning. Bob and
Mhm.
Bob does as you're walking back, Bob's still holding your hand and is giving you a curious look. Just genuinely curious.
I mean, Ko's not gonna explain. He's just, he just like pulls out like another gold coin and just there's another loud crunch.
Speaking speaking of things of value, or maybe it's not, but that the mirror that we found in your possession, where did you get that?
Mm. Ko has fallen silent for this, which as he like looks down at you. Hmm.
Just looks back.
I must admit, I did not exactly acquire it by legal means.
Oh no, I don't imagine you did.
I do not know all the details of its origin, but I believe it came from. Mm, well, I purchased it in the back alley market in a very secluded area.
Hmm.
Although actually receiving it, I believe they found it in a town called Woodbrook, if I'm not mistaken.
What? Okay.
Hmm.
It's killing me that me as Fable know what this is about. But Bob, just I have to play it. I have to play it as Bob, who's still putting the pieces together, and it kills me. But Bob takes that tidbit and will store it away. And not a very well. I can imagine why you would have. I can imagine why it's something you would have to get through not so legal means, but not a very safe object to keep on hand either.
Hmm. Where did it go? By the way, I know you confiscated it from me, but
Do you want it back?
there there is very much like a hint of like greed that flashes in his eyes.
Tell you what. How much? Tell you what. How much did you pay for it?
Ko blinks and just stares at you for the longest time.
Come on. How much did you pay for it? I imagine by this point they're back in the room, and Bob is leading Code to sit back on the comfy couch chair.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Ko again awkwardly sits down.
Bob does not. Bob does not sit yet. He then brings a small little small table to sit. Probably it's actually probably the coffee table that's in the room. He brings it to be between them before he sits down.
Hmm. Like, this is me, Abby, not knowing how like draft house economy works 24/7. Eventually mentions a price. It's kind of high.
What counts as high though?
Well, like in draft house, I know that like big rewards are usually 50 to 75 gold pieces. For him, it's probably like in the lower thousands range, going off of that same economy. This thing is a fortune
Okay.
for obvious reasons.
Considering you're someone who has to eat coins to survive, I'm surprised you would spend that much on it.
Hmm. I figured it a worthy investment. It made acquiring, well, what I deal in a
Hmm.
lot easier.
Well, I'll admit, I can't pay all that back immediately. But
I
what
don't think I would like gold back. I want the mirror. And like as he's talking, like his tone is slowly shifting
hmm.
as like a casual reminder that this guy is a villain. This guy's a villain.
Well, I'm afraid I can't. Well, For obvious reasons, I'm afraid I can't give it back to you. But I
Like,
know.
this is the most he's moved since like this whole thing. Like he like frustratingly like slams a hand down on the couch as the other one goes up and like attempts to wipe at a face that isn't there. Like just the motion of it.
And Bob just kind of patiently sits there.
Do
I
you
can't get.
actually want to roll either Arcana or Insight for me?
Let's do Arcana because it's a better modifier.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
And Insight has not been nice. Which
Yeah,
is surprising because Bob usually rolls really well on Insight. Anyways, that was a
yeah.
19 on
That's a
Arcana.
19. Um, I'd say that like cursed objects and the like objects, magical objects in general, are some things that you have researched in your time
Mm-hmm.
at least once. It is very common for cursed items that if the user grows to depend upon them, that they get withdrawals from not having it in their possession.
All right. Yeah. In that,
And like
yeah.
you can start to see like the beginnings of he wants it back. He wants it back real bad.
Ko, what's your experience with cursed objects?
Mm. Like Ko like gives like a long thought before like basically like trying to figure out how to word this correctly. I must admit, the mirror is my first experience with such things. I had to deal a lot in learning how it operates and
think
how.
I think then it might be I think it's for the best then that you I think then we caught you at a good time to take this from you when we have any longer and it probably would have been much more negative effects on you. And that for certainly would not be a good investment on your part.
Mm, hold on. I gotta make save. I gotta make a save.
Oh, is there any way for Bob to give him advantage in any way?
No, I'm sorry.
Okay.
Okay, that's an 18. That you're so lucky. Like you can see like Ko just like staring down at you again and like it's he looks real scary for a second there like he's about to go on the attack before he forces himself to calm down and just take a long deep breath that he probably doesn't really need.
How about we switch the subject now? I have something that I think you'll well, I don't know if you'll be much more interested thinking about, but it will be something for you to think about. Ko, how
And what
would you
could
feel
that
about
possibly be?
well, I'd like to offer you a job.
A job.
Yes.
There's just like a long stretch of silence as like Ko's like studying you, trying to see if this is a joke.
Insight again. At advantage because Bob is an open book.
Oh boy, oh boy.
Jesus. Why? You know what? No. You know what? Forget insight because all the insight rolls have been more or less garbage. This is
Plus, I
ridiculous.
think it would be funny for Ko to be like, "You're serious."
Very much so, yes. Ko, look at me. I may not be your average nobody, but I am still a nobody.
Mm,
Tell me how many of us have you seen in your line of work?
to be honest, I believe you are the second nobody I've come across.
The fact that I'm not the first is concerning, but That's for not. You know what? For that's for
Nobody's have a particular talent for finding loopholes.
no. That's true. That's very true. In any case, about the people I've asked you about, they are. Well, I won't lie. They are a current concern of mine.
They are dangerous, I understand.
Hmm.
And the fact that you are asking about them, I can gather that you have either dealt with them recently or you have gained their attention in some way, which I can imagine is not a good situation to be in.
No, it's not.
What did you do to get people like that on your tail?
It's it's a long story, and some of it a bit personal. I won't lie, and some
Hmm,
of it is not my story to tell.
fair enough.
About your constructs, the ones that you used tonight, are you able to make more of them?
Hmm. It would take some time and some resources, but yes, I could recreate them.
Would you be willing to use them to more or less spy on the Yakuza?
He just kind of does that snort again and studies you again to see if you're joking, and again sees you are absolutely serious about this.
Mm-hmm.
Hmm. If I were to do this for you, I would expect that you would be offering a price I can't refuse. That's the funniest time for a fumble! Yes!
Bob Bob reaches behind him and pulls out a glittery bedazzled mic, blinks and goes, "Oh, now I'm able to pull it out. Oh, for heaven's sakes." He reaches in again, pulls out a little glass jar of what looks to be sand, sighs again, puts it back. Hold on. Pulls out a bag of snacks, puts it back. All right. God. Bob, after a few fumbles, and you know what? I think he chuckles a little bit to himself as well. It's just never know what you get with hammer space until you pull it out. Okay, here we go. And Bob is going to Bob is going to put a big bag of gold onto the table.
Hmm. Hmm.
And if you're wondering, there can be more where that came from.
Hmm. I feel like Ko is like looking at the bag of money before like he just very carefully picks it up and sets it to the side. And he stares at Bob very intently. I feel like you know what I would want more than this. And like again, there's that look of greed from
Tell me something, Co. Say I give it to you. What do you think is going to happen?
Hmm. Well, what do you think would happen? As I
Bob
imagine our mindsets on what will occur are very different.
A few things could happen. One, and Bob very clearly looks at Ko's chest. That could happen again. And despite how we met, I don't want that to happen to you. I'm not just offering you money, Ko. I'm offering you a chance to get out of this maybe not relatively unscathed, but with the promise that things could potentially be better for you.
Hmm. Yeah, Ko is just very quietly considering this.
And consider this. While I don't know the full life you've led, and I certainly don't know what kind of employers you've had in the past, consider the fact that I'm a nobody. I can't Ko, I'll be honest with you, I'm terrible at lying. I'm not good at manipulating. It's not a strength of mine. So at the very least, what you'll get from me, you'll get honesty from me.
Hmm.
I have no interest in making a puppet out of you, and I have no interest in abusing what you could do for me.
I feel like Ko is just kind of like leaning back into the seat, like considering. Hmm.
Goodness, the reason I'm considering hiring you at all is for those constructs. You'd be able to put those by the Yakuza without putting yourself in direct danger.
Hmm. Would it not be easier simply to just get the blueprints of such things? They are in my hammer space.
Would you be willing to give them to me? Or would you let me buy them from you?
We can talk about prices. But again, the resources are many for these things.
I could make that happen.
Hmm. With the company you keep, I imagine it would be quite simple for you.
And what company do you think I keep?
He just like gives you like a long look again.
No, I'm not talking about who's out there in the
Do you not know who you're allied with?
Do you?
In my experience, the Algars are a very powerful sort of family. They have lots of fingers in lots of places. They deal in many things, and certainly have the resources to do so. Being that you are surprised by. Hmm, I'm
Hmm.
curious. And he's just like staring at you again.
Bob is
A lot
staring
of
back.
staring from this guy. A
Bob
lot of staring.
Bob is staring right back. You know what? I know it's been garbage, but 9. God, you cannot read
Man,
this guy.
man. Yeah, no. This. Hmm.
I'm gonna roll
Yeah.
hammers.
Hammer space? Ooh.
Hmm. However, you are obviously allowed to say no to this. I'm not expect I don't expect you to be fully willing to put your neck out there just for a decent pay.
Hmm. I mean, offer the right prices, and I might be more willing than normal. But again, as you've clearly established, you are not willing to give up what I personally am wanting back.
I think you're smart enough to know that that's not what you need.
Hmm.
And tell me, is it what you really want? Or is it because the mirror wants you to want it?
Perhaps not.
You don't
Though,
strike me as
I
someone.
must admit,
Hmm?
its pull is difficult to resist.
Hmm. If you do decide to take if you do decide to take this job offer, we could see what we can do about that.
Hmm. I feel as though I maybe should offer some warnings regarding that object.
Any would be appreciated.
Hmm. First things first. Don't look into it when you are wearing a form that is not your own. Otherwise, it will alter that form. I learned that the hard way.
Understood.
Second, don't get cut by it. The pieces make the transformations more permanent.
All right. Bob makes a note to himself to talk to Marcel, who still has one of the shards.
Yeah, yeah, huh? And third of all, tried to avoid any negative energy when it is in your possession, hammer space or not. It is very hungry.
Negative energy, like magic
Mm,
or emotion?
in a way, both.
Hmm. All right.
I am fully capable of amplifying its effects, as you saw earlier tonight. Although its curse gets weaker when it is spread out so thin.
Hmm. Bob has a considering expression. You saying that gives me an idea, but I think considering you seem to still have considering it still seems to have a pull on you, it's best I discuss it with someone else.
That is probably a wise decision.
Hmm. But I do appreciate your warnings and I will take them into strong consideration.
Hmm. I must admit, this conversation is going much more smoothly than I thought it would.
Honestly, yeah.
Hmm. I said it before, but I'll say it again. You are the strangest nobody I've ever seen.
Bob just smiles again.
Hmm.
Well,
I think like looking at this, like Ko has been more and more like his gaze has been more and more directed towards the little pouch of gold that's still sitting on the coffee table.
Do you want it?
Hmm.
Either whether you take the job offer or whether you decide to leave, you may as well walk away with a bit of pocket money.
I must admit, I am intrigued by these offers that you have presented.
Could be fun.
It could also get us all killed. I hope you understand that.
Eh, I've
Hmm.
I've technically died twice, and it's not
Hmm.
fun, but the most we can do is do what we do best.
Hmm.
And as a nobody, I am very good with money.
Hmm. A bit of caution involving death. If you are able to cheat it a few times, it will come back stronger and with more teeth the next.
Possibly. I imagine
Be
it will
careful where you tread. You do not know if your next death will be the last one.
tell me, do you plan on causing that death?
Me personally, no. Though depending on how our paths separate this night, it could entirely be possible that my actions, indirectly or not, could potentially cause it in the future. I do business with a lot of less than desirable people.
I know. It's also part of the reason why I'm considering hiring you.
Hmm.
As I said, Ko, I am a nobody. I'm not good at deception, but I also come from a background where being in your line of work, being in your world, I am not familiar with it. I don't have many people who are already in it. You, however, are.
Hmm.
I don't expect you to trust me. I imagine trust is a very difficult thing to give in your world, but if you're going to if trust anything, trust the fact that I need someone like you on the inside, and I'm more than willing to pay.
Hmm.
If anything, besides money, I might also be able to provide you some, oh, what's the word? I guess assurances. Your name and face aren't exactly very popular at the moment. And you're gonna need a means to lie low.
Hmm. Both very true statements. If I do eventually intend to go back to what I was doing, I will need a new face.
A mask?
Hmm. I adapt very quickly to masks, you'll find.
Hmm. Well, I am handy at making things, though I would understand if that's something you'd rather make for yourself.
Hmm. I'll have to give it some time and some thought.
Bob nods. Then he
He
gestures,
shows.
and then he gestures to the bag of gold. Take
Hmm.
take that for now. And think about my offer.
I think Ko very slowly, cautiously reaches out towards the bag of gold and picks it up with the coins clinking.
Hmm. And
And like
Bob?
one thing he does is he opens it and his eyes turn into like those gross teeth again.
Yep, yep.
He's and he just eats one to make sure it's real.
It's real. It's the gold. It's the gold that Bob just got from tonight.
Oh dang. Oh dang. Oh man.
Yeah.
Mm. I may have to give your offer a few days consideration. Though I imagine during that time I might be under some sort of house arrest, for lack of a better term.
Mm. Bob thinks on that for a moment. Well, on one hand, I suppose it would be the smart thing to keep you under house arrest. On the other, eh, this isn't really a this isn't really a prison. And I did say if you wanted to go, you could. Though Gil is probably still going to keep to his threat. If you do decide to leave, you probably should skip town.
Hmm. I'm going to have to skip town regardless. Hmm. Tell you what, we could perhaps meet at another location in a week's time after I have given it some thought. And then I can give you my final answer.
All right, that's acceptable. I don't mean
I
to
think
offend, but I do feel the need to ask. Please don't. I don't even want to be threatening about it. Just no double crossing, please. Feel like it's rather silly. I feel like it's rather silly with all. I feel like it's rather silly when people are like, "Oh yes, I'll give you a week's time to talk about it." Then they show up and then they have a whole team to try and kill you, and it's exhausting. Let me put it this way: you don't have a reason. I imagine you have reasons, but I have no reason to double cross you. I would ask you extend the same courtesy.
Hmm. Perhaps if we built a contract around it of sorts, it would make sure both sides would.
It's a 6. Bob immediately. There's immediately a thwomp as a sack of paperwork is now on the table. And
Yeah,
you are,
Ko was expecting this.
yeah,
He,
and
he
you are,
knew he knew it the moment it left his non-existent mouth.
oh no, and you are sharply reminded that, yeah, this is a nobody. Paperwork.
Yep,
This is what
paperwork.
if anything else, this is what they do. See, we could say, let's see, hold on, let me look through these real quick. We could probably save the I-9 tax and, well, that's a workplace harassment folder. We could save that for if you actually decide to accept it. Hold on, this is usually all employees sign. Give me one moment. Give me one moment. I don't want to make you sign more than you have to. I know most people don't really enjoy paperwork like nobodies do, so.
Well, I am a toon. Most toons are less versed in such things.
All the same, just for convenience sake.
Hmm.
For convenience sake, we'll save the I-9 tax and workplace harassment. You're my only employee. Well, we'll save those for if you decide to take my offer in a week.
Hmm. And Ko just like gives like a nod.
Yeah. Bob will there's probably like a few amendments he has to make to the initial contract, just, but he
Mm-hmm.
goes over them all with Co. Just to be like, we will in a week we will meet in so and so location. to discuss whether about about whether or not Co will be accepting employment, and that neither will do any sort of double crossing. And it goes probably more into detail on that front of like
Yeah.
we won't of
Like
like we
listing what like qualifies as double crossing and
yeah
what
yeah
things will not be involved and
yeah yeah
all the nitty-gritty details.
yeah. Bob knows that he can't keep. Bob admits this to Co. Like, I admittedly can't keep all my family from. They're gonna know about this because again, I can't really lie. One of them's gonna want to come with me. I can at least put here that it won't be any of the people that want to kill you.
People, I just had the funniest idea.
What? What?
There's, there's kind of like a little bit of a thump outside outside like the door. It's kind of like a little knock. And it's Primrose!
Oh, Primrose. Hi. Weren't you sleeping?
I woke up. And she's like looking at you guys with like a little sweat drop going down her head.
Prim, how much of that were you listening to?
Um, just the last bit. Uh,
And Bob's gonna look over at Co. Are you comfortable with signing off if I bring her?
Ko just like takes like another long breath that he honestly does not need. And he just nods.
Okay. So Primrose, how do you feel like helping me out with something next week?
That I could do that.
Great.
Oh boy.
I'm gonna need your signature though.
Right, okay. And Primrose is just awkwardly shuffling in and shutting the door behind her.
Bob will catch Primrose up on what they're doing and
Cool.
he won't go it like not into super detail. He will be like, I can't tell you anything because of reasons. But I will be meeting again. But I will be meeting again with uh, Co next week to discuss job offers. I don't, and he looks over at Co. I don't know a better way to put that.
Ko just shrugs. Meanwhile, Prim's just like making the prayer hands. But I feel like she's just like nodding, like, okay, I'm gonna help with this. Only because I want to make sure you're safe.
Bob ends up making 3 copies of the contract for all of them to keep, for all of them to for all of them to sign, and all of them to keep. So
Oh man.
yeah, yeah.
I feel like that would be a really funny place to wrap up.
Honestly, yeah. Hey, just so how's Co feeling when he leaves that night? Because again, he's not a prisoner. Bob wasn't gonna make him stay to begin with. But yeah, Co, you leave the House of Paint with a few of your stuff gone, but you've got a contract, a decent bag of coin in your hand that if you spend it wisely should probably last you more than a week if I'm looking at Bob and being
Oh
honest.
yeah.
Bob
Oh
would
yeah.
enough to
Listen, that amount of money can last him a good bit.
yeah and
Considering.
Bob and Co doesn't know, but Bob has a pretty cushy job as well. So
Oh, he does.
Actually, if I'm being honest, Bob has an incredibly cushy job.
Yeah, yeah, being the only accountant that works at Dodo Studios, man, that's a cushy job.
It is incredibly the job security with that.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, there's no safer place.
Yeah, yeah, cushy job. Good
Cushy
cushy job
job.
that allows it. So this actually is good because be it being a cushy job, he's able to spend on things that, with his own money
Mhm,
and not having to do doesn't he probably doesn't have to even do anything to the funds in Dodo Studios
mhm, mhm.
for this because again,
Yeah.
cushy gig, and Bob is really good with money.
Yeah, 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 yeah. I feel like Ko is just like leaving this again bewildered. This is not at all what he was expecting to come out of this,
No, probably not, but
but also intrigued.
maybe that's the best.
Very intrigued.
Well, oh boy, Bob has Bob has dipped his toes into some dangerous waters.
He dipped his toes into these dangerous waters beforehand, man.
This is true. This is true, which is why Bob he's being cautious. He's being cautious, but at the same time, he is hoping for the best.
I just feel like as like Bob's like thinking about this, Primrose is just like standing nearby. Like she does not have a lot of the context, but
Yeah,
worry is still there.
yeah, that's gonna be sorry, Prim. Before he's got to talk to engineer first before he knows if he can tell you anything.
Yeah, that's fair.
I think during the week, Bob is going.
Listen, she deals with her own fairy godmothers who have their own secrets. She knows the drill.
Yeah, yeah. In any case, Bob will still. And I need to message Maud, just being like, "Hey, so Bob may
So
have
things have
hired
developed.
things have developed. Bob may have hired someone to, do some spying for them. Uh, Also, Bob will also be talking to Marcel about destroying the mirror.
Mhm, mhm, mhm.
Bob's not even gonna toy with this thing. No, this from
Yeah,
all those warnings he just got from Co. No, this thing is better off being. This thing is,
yeah, yeah. Considering he
yeah,
did give the warning of hammer space or not, this thing is
yeah,
a threat.
yeah, and it is currently in Bob's hammer space, and Bob wants to get this thing dealt with before it has a chance to get any pull on him.
Mhm, mhm. Yep.
Like Bob has a strong mind, but he's not taking risks.
Mhm, mhm.
So hey, Marcel buddy, how about we go find someone that knows remove curse? Do we know anyone that knows remove curse? That would be something for later, but yeah, an offer
Uh,
you can't refuse.
that is a question to find out another time.
Indeed.
Man,
But until then, that did not go too badly.
that did not go too badly.
If I imagine if Ko had failed that whiz save, could have gone really bad.
Oh yeah, if he failed that whip save, Bob might have gotten stabbed
For
right then and there,
yeah, for
regardless of dangers or not.
didn't Bob take all his weapons?
Not all of them.
Oh, Bob asked you for. Well, he still has the wand and the boots, so
Yeah, yeah. Which, by the way, those items you can like share with the others if you so desire, or keep. Those were confiscated by Bob, and Bob can do whatever he wishes with them.
Bob is keeping Bob is keeping the shoes, but he might give the wand to someone else because he doesn't really need a wand.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. They're just gonna be all right with the clashing aesthetic.
He can make him work.
They
He's an
can't
art.
make it work.
He's an
That's
artificer.
true.
He can change up the. He can at least change up the colors.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Make them match his outfit a little bit. But until then,
Yeah.
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 Thank y'all for coming.
Yeah, thanks for coming. This was very cool.
Yeah, it was. I had fun.
I had fun too. That was probably the best I've played a villain.
It was really good. I very much enjoyed. But yeah, I guess until next time.
Yeah, till next time. Thank you for listening.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.